Hello, I'm Johnny, and welcome to the Ginger Geek Show. So, we're finally here at the finale of Doctor Who. We have The Legend of Ruby Sunday and The Empire of Death, both written by Russell T Davies. This is obviously the culmination of this season, the first season for Ncuti Gatwa and Millie Gibson. It's going to be, as always, I'm just going to give my kind of overall opinion. There's no real kind of structure because just like my life, there is no structure. So we'll just go right into it and see what we get with as we go along. So, but first of all, I want to kind of talk about them kind of individually and maybe kind of overall how I kind of felt, I guess, is maybe the best way to kind of do it, because there's a lot to chew on here. Like an all-you-can-eat buffet, and I am stuffed. So, The Legend of Ruby Sunday, who cares? I don't care anymore. I don't care about this kind of character, really, to be honest. Like, I'm gonna say right now, it's not that I don't care, but it's just like, they're making such a big fuss, and it's just I've not had enough time to feel like I should really kind of care about. I like her as an actress. I don't really like her as a character. Maybe is like the best way to kind of put it. I think she's just fine. The character. There's nothing really much to kind of go with. The problem is that they're doing such an emphasis on the kind of storyline, I would say, with the character than actually maybe focusing on just what her character is as a person. Because I couldn't really tell you much. She likes playing in a band. I'll give you that. She likes in a band, but that's kind of really it. There's not really kind of much else. She played the piano, I remember rightly. They did bring it back a little bit, but there kind of wasn't really much else. But there's just, as I said, we'll get into where obviously in the second episode, the reveal of who our mum is, and I just folk are not happy. I've already read Twitter. Folk are not happy, but in my opinion, it's just I'm not bought. I don't care. I don't care because I don't really care much about the characters. So I don't really care about the reveal. And I felt like Russell didn't want me to care because how he did the reveal. So there wasn't really much to kind of say. But I'm getting on. Let's get back to the Legend of Ruby Sunday. So I want to talk about a little bit actually first about the opening, and again, it's been my issue with this whole season where it just feels so rushed. It just feels like I can't just take a second to breathe, and everything is so bang, bam, bam, and it's like, oh right, okay, the TARDIS is flying, the TARDIS is here. You know, we did. I miss where we have like maybe a scene of like. It would have been nice if we had a scene of just say like the Doctor and Ruby were on like a planet and they saw that Susan Trust person character again, and then that's when the Doctor kind of went, right, we need to actually deal with this now. I'm going to go to Unit and see what we can find out. So I thought I think maybe if they had maybe a scene like that, that would have maybe have helped. Maybe, I don't know. But we go back to Unit. I love the tower. It's always great seeing Kate. My only kind of issue, and this is actually my only issue really with this episode, because I'm going to say right now, I think the part one of the finale is pretty fine. I actually quite enjoyed it. But too many Unit people, far too many. It was a bit too cluttered. I'm going to say right now, as well as the second part, and I never thought I'd say this because I really don't like her in the classic era, but I really thoroughly enjoyed Mel. I really like Bonnie Langford. I did see her because I do watch EastEnders. Yes, I said it, and I like her in that show. I did like her in that. So I kind of knew that she's a different person to what she was back then, and she's actually pretty good, and she got some good stuff. Not maybe great stuff. She got enough for at least I can get what I'm getting from her, and it was good. It was nice seeing her back, and I might get to see her actually soon because she's going to be in Glasgow soon. So I might hopefully maybe get to see her. But yeah, I did like seeing her. No idea why Rose is there. Absolute no character whatsoever. I get it that it's a reference to Donna. I understand. I'm guessing Catherine Tate's a bit too expensive for just having, because it was a small role, so I'm guessing it was a bit. You can't have someone like Catherine Tate. It's a bit too big of a name and too much money. I get it, and I get that it's just a reference, but there's just no character there. It's Rose just mostly just stood there, especially in the episode. There's a hilarious moment where they're all like shooting at. Well, Sutekh, this is a spoiler, I guess, review. I'm saying it right now. In the second bit, and Rose is just on the tablet, and it looks like they're just like bored. It's like, but obviously, I think they needed like a wee moment to showcase that's what Rose was doing. I'm assuming like Rose was controlling the guns that were on the roof, but it just looked like Rose was just like bored and just playing a game, you know. And I don't really blame her because it probably would have been more entertaining playing the playing the game. But yes, overall, with Legends of getting back into the episodes, the stuff I did really enjoy the time window stuff. I thought that was handled well. I did like the practical effects just when I watched the Unleashed stuff and how it was using the oh Christ, what's the void the vape no volume. I think it's volume. It's called. It's definitely a V, I'm sure. And they used, and it was like all walls, and it was a practical concept, and I think they did use some green screen, but it actually worked out in their favour because it is meant to be a flat, you know, background, and it actually worked out quite well. I'm not the biggest fan of that technology. I think the Mandalorian uses it very much so, and it worked in season 1 and 2, but that third season got really quite rough, I think, with that technology, where it felt like, because when they were using it in like locations, it just felt like they were inside. They clearly weren't outside. It just didn't really kind of gelled for me. But yeah, so you had all that sort of stuff. I enjoyed that, and they kept building up on they were trying to make a big deal about is Susan, and I found this a bit kind of stupid, to be honest. Is like the Doctor was jumping at the fact that is Susan his Susan, the granddaughter Susan. I was just like, oh my god. I thought that was a bit kind of ridiculous, if I'm honest, and the whole anagram stuff, which surely that was the joke, because like they make the joke where it's like, oh yeah, Susan Triad is yeah, it's TARDIS, I see it, do you know what I mean? They make the joke, so I'm hoping like Russell maybe stops that now, because I'm kind of done with the anagrams. He loves an anagram. He does, Russell T Davies. I'm not gonna lie. This is why I wasn't really overall keen on the finale, because it felt like a massive checklist of just Russell T Davies's like isms that he has of like that, and the Deus Machina that was obvious that was coming in the finale. But I will say I did love the build up to the reveal that it was Sutek. It was Sutek all along, as Agatha says in WandaVision. And I liked it. I enjoyed that. I will admit, I did really. I thought it was quite a nice reveal and how it was handled. I'm gonna say right now, because this is why I kind of wanted to merge talking about these two together. Is the fact that I do think the cliffhanger should have been everyone was being dusted. I think that should have been actually the cliffhanger. I think that would add a stronger impact, because I'm sorry, it's quite obvious that they were not going to be staying dead. It was just obvious, because I remember when I watched it for the first time, and I felt nothing. I didn't feel anything, because I just knew that, because I know how Russell writes. He was going to do a Deus Machina and everyone just comes back to normal and everything is back perfectly fine. There was no that's my kind of issue with the second part. There's no real threat. There's no real consequence, really, I feel, to anything, and that's kind of my kind of overall issue. That's the stuff I kind of more care about. I can care less about the reveal that Ruby's mum is just a normal person. It's like, cool. I don't really care about this stuff. It still doesn't answer many things, like why did Snow just appear? Why did reality seem to be different around her? Now looking back, because I thought that was maybe going to connect with it, was when you look at the Devil's Cord and when they danced on the road, but the lights appeared, and a lot of people thought with the music number as well that it turned out maybe there was a connection with her and she kind of changed reality. Turns out, I guess not. They're just little cute wee moments, I guess, they were going for, which is fine. That doesn't really bother me. I know a lot of people were bothered by the music number. It didn't really bother me, if I'm honest, but it just seemed like it would have made sense. So the reason why the big deal of what made her so special is because they treated it as it was special that she didn't have a mum. I don't know. I'm very confused. I'm not gonna lie. The people that moan about Moffat being confusing, I think this is way worse than anything Moffat wrote. because I always like the way Moffat wrote where, and he's so right, when you look at The Good Man Goes to War, when he says, or something like, it's nothing better when the answer is, was it, the question is more confusing than the answer. And it's kind of like, when you have a question and you answer it, you also kind of need to have another question. Basically saying it's a good way to kind of further the story and build it along. And how I did feel about this was, and I don't want to go too into like the rumors and what maybe has happened behind the scenes, because I don't particularly think it's true. Because she is going to be in season 2 that we know of, but there was rumors that apparently she got axed and such forth. And I'm not going to lie, this episode doesn't help that argument, because it does feel like, I think this was meant to stretch into season 2. It does feel very rushed, the finale of like of that reveal, and I think it was meant to maybe be a bit kind of like Rose's journey, because I think the problem is, if you're a new viewer, you've just had this new companion and they've already left in the first season, I think is a bit of a shame, because very much so, I think they worked it well back in 2005, that at least Rose was over that first series, into that Christmas special, and into the second series. I think there's a bit of a shame that as a new viewer, you're trying to get accustomed to this companion and they're already left. And we already know that I don't think she's going to be in the Christmas special. It is going to be that actress, I forget her name, but she's in Derry Girls. She's fantastic. I'm looking forward to that. But it's just, I find it a bit of a shame that the show didn't kind of continue that theme. We've kind of went back to Russell's one companion a series, it feels like, almost a bit. I think that's a shame. I always prefer, like, I love that Amy and Rory were in the show for a while, and Clara was in it for a while. You know, you even get, you know, Yaz Graham and Ryan. I think that's great that they were in for a while. I kind of prefer that. You get a little bit kind of more from them. I just don't get much from when it's just one series, and that's I think it's a bit of a shame, especially when, I think it's okay when it's like Martha, Donna, or Bill, or even what the hell was his name that was in Flux, the comedian? Oh, I'm getting old. What was his name? I can't remember, but yeah. Anyway, so I think it works sometimes, but I think just because it's a new era and trying to build a new audience, I think it's a bit of a shame that they didn't have someone that can kind of carry on. But as I says, yeah, I think the opening doesn't work when they're doing this whole Sutek, you know, the god of death, and you know that they're gonna bring everyone back. So it's kind of just, I almost don't see the point of doing like a villain like that, because you know, like, the threat isn't real. I think that's the kind of thing. And I'm not gonna lie, I really thought Mel died, because, and I watched Pyramids of Mars like literally the other day. Any kind of servant to Sutek is dead, and they didn't do her. I thought like she was gonna be dead, and I was a bit like, oh god, she's been taken, but then she's actually kind of perfectly fine. So it was very kind of bizarre. But yeah, overall, I think that's kind of it. And the lamppost stuff was stupid. That was stupid. I'm not gonna lie. Is it just me? I swear I thought that Ruby knew that her name was Ruby, because that's where she was found. I swear they've said that in the Christmas special. I swear they thought, because that's the whole point why it's called There's Something on Ruby Road, the Christmas special. My God, I'm getting old. What was the Christmas special that I can't even remember now? I do my research. I swear that they called it because she was found on Ruby Road. I don't know. And then they tried to connect stuff with the what was it called, the 73 Yards episode, and I got quite confused there, because it was like, all right, so that future is still happening, even though she wasn't. I thought it was meant to be an alternate kind of. Yeah, I don't know. It's just too much. There's too much. As I says, I found this finale more confusing than anything Moffat wrote. And I'm going to say it right now, as an overall, as I look at this overall series, I enjoyed Flux more, which I never thought I would say, because it wasn't until I rewatched Flux I enjoyed it more, actually, Flux, I must say. And I really enjoy Village. I enjoy the Sontaran episode in the Village of the Angels, which I think is actually better than anything. And I think Boom is my favourite episode overall this series. I might do like a kind of my overall thoughts of the series. So if you'd like that, comment down and tell me, or should I just stop talking? Which I know many of you would probably prefer if I did was just stop talking. Even I would prefer that. I wouldn't have to listen to this pish all day, to be honest. But yeah, I think that's me overall. I'm not crazy about the series. I thought it was fine, very up and down, and it feels very disjointed and very kind of. It's I don't know. It feels like a lot's been cut. Is the problem? I think Shooty's good. I like Millie. And I was quite excited about Russell coming back, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, I think you've kind of damaged your legacy. I think a little bit of the show, a little bit. But no matter what, we've got a Christmas special and season 2, which they've already filmed, which is quite dumb because now they can't take anything that's been clearly not well received in this series and hopefully maybe improve on. So we might get another season of this. Who knows how it's going to work out? I've got absolutely no clue. But there we have it. Overall, the finale, it was alright. But as I says, I don't really care much about Ruby to really like. I'm not getting all the way folk are getting all kind of a bit antsy about the reveal. I just didn't really care, to be honest. My honest opinion with it. But I'd like to know what you guys think. Please comment down below, like, share, and subscribe. All that fantastic stuff. Hopefully there'll be more videos in the future. I don't know what else we might be going, but keep up with it. There you go. Keep up with it. That's what I'll say, and hopefully I'll see you soon. See you later.